I scheduled my pregnancy appointment with my husband's girlfriend. I found my husband's text with someone named Melissa Russell on a Monday night while he was in the shower. I had just found out I was pregnant with this man's baby and he was sleeping with someone else. I decided to look the girl up online and I found out that she was a pregnancy doctor at the women's clinic across town, so the next morning I called Dr. Russell's office and specifically asked for her. The receptionist was happy to squeeze me in to see her Friday morning. At dinner I set my fork down and looked at my husband. I'm pregnant. His face lit up. That's amazing. I'll come to your first appointment. I smiled back. Good. It's Friday morning with Dr. Melissa Russell at the women's clinic. The color drained from his face so fast I thought he might actually pass out right there at the table. He recovered quickly and said that was great. The days leading up to the appointment were the best entertainment I'd had in months. Wednesday morning over coffee, he casually mentioned the doctor's reviews. Maybe you should find someone with better ratings? Later that day, he showed me an article on his phone. It says here most men don't go to the first appointment. Thursday, he offered to pay for me to go to a different practice entirely. Somewhere more upscale. You deserve the best. Friday morning, he came downstairs in a full suit claiming he'd forgotten about a massive work deadline, but I reminded him he had an approved time off request. We got in the car and he was already sweating before I started the engine. His hands were shaking when he buckled his seatbelt. About 5 minutes from the clinic, he suddenly grabbed his chest and started gasping. I can't breathe. My chest is tight and my arm is tingling. I pulled over and looked at him clutching the dashboard. Do you want me to call an ambulance? He nodded like he was dying. The ambulance arrived and 2 EMTs loaded him onto a stretcher. They ran tests while I stood there watching. The lead EMT looked down at him. Sir, your vitals are completely normal. Have you been under any unusual stress lately? My husband shook his head. The EMT suggested he follow up with his regular doctor but confirmed there was no emergency. My husband started to sit up, clearly relieved it was over. I cleared my throat and smiled. Since we're so close to the clinic, we should probably still go to my appointment. His head snapped toward me. Are you serious right now? I looked him directly in the eyes. Dead. We finally sat down in the waiting room and he started bouncing his leg violently. When the nurse called my name, he stood up so fast he knocked his phone onto the floor. We followed her to the exam room and she took my vitals, then told us the doctor would be in shortly. The second she closed the door, he started pacing. We need to leave right now. I tilted my head innocently. Why would we leave? He ran both hands through his hair. I just have a really bad feeling about this place. He was staring at the door when it suddenly opened. Dr. Russell walked in holding a tablet. Hello, I'm Doctor. She looked up and froze. The tablet slipped from her hands and clattered onto the floor. For 3 seconds, nobody moved. Then he lunged toward the door, but she quickly stepped in front of him and slammed it shut behind her. Does she know? Her voice was shaking with rage. I nodded. I found out earlier this week. She closed her eyes and took a breath. When she opened them, she looked directly at him. You told me you were separated. He held up his hands. I can explain this. It's not what it looks like. She laughed. Not what it looks like? You're at a pregnancy appointment with your wife. He tried again, slowly backing toward the corner. We're going through a rough patch, I swear. She advanced on him. Shut your lying mouth. I watched him shrink against the wall. I'm sorry. I never meant for this to happen. She turned back to look at me. I promise you, I had no idea you were still together. I had no idea you were pregnant either. I nodded. I believe you. She looked back at him with pure disgust. If you don't get out of my exam room in the next 5 seconds, I'm calling security. He looked at me one last time, but I kept my eyes on the wall. He ran out the door and she closed it behind him, picking up her tablet from the floor. I'm so sorry about that. I'll transfer your care to another doctor. And if you need a statement for your divorce, I'll tell them exactly what kind of man he is. I filed for divorce the following week. His lawyer tried to argue that the fake heart attack was proof I'd caused him severe emotional distress, but the judge was not impressed. I got the house in full custody when the baby was born.